All right, grand rising, beautiful people. It's 9:54 in the morning and it is February 4th. I am scheduled to do a interview. First, it's like a little get-together chat with the person I'm going to be chit-chatting with for my podcast. So I figured I'd bring you guys for the ride. Why not? I mean, it's not like this is something I do on a regular. This is actually something new for me. First time trying this. So I'm gonna see how this goes. Hopefully it goes pretty well. I met her through one of the coaching seminars that I was taking, and I think her niche is what caught my attention, if I'm not mistaken. That's it. Well, I guess we're gonna have to see if Nana can go. But yeah, so with that being said, I figured I'll bring y'all for the ride. Because I still have to obviously put content out. And my lips feel dry. Sorry y'all, but I can't take this dryness. I love the shea butter on this thing. I love the smell of it. I love the way it feels on my lips. Are they popping now? Are they popping? Let me stop. It feels so smooth. I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, so I figured I'll bring y'all for the ride. We're supposed to Skype. I'm not going to show her because, you know, this is just for my side right now, not for the podcast. It's just so we can get to know each other, vibe a little bit. So before we get on the podcast, because y'all already know I'm not an editor person. I don't like to edit in reality unless I gotta cut out a whole bunch of dead space. Long cigarette. Unless I gotta cut out a whole bunch of dead space, and if I gotta do that, then I'd rather not do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not laziness. Ouch. Ouch. Yo, since that fall, that side has been not nice to me. Okay, so let me get a little more comfortable. Grab my notebook. Let's take pictures of all of these. I don't know. I think half of them already expired. Got that. This is not needed. What else? And yeah, so I'm trying to get my desk a little organized. The other day I needed to go to the bathroom really bad, and like I said, since the fall, this leg my left leg has not been my friend so much, so I've kind of been using a wheelchair to get closer to my destinations versus walking, because I noticed that I put a lot of strain on it. Like yesterday I had to go to bed. I got on here, I sat over here, I tried to be here as long as I could, and I was in so much pain I couldn't. I just went right back to bed. Every
eating.
Okay, so basically I'm asking her if she would like to do it as a video or just as audio, you know, whichever one's easier for her. I want her to be comfortable. Okay, audio. Okay. Hello? Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me fine?
Yes.
Okay, great, good. I haven't used Skype in like forever.
I don't know the last time I used it. I'm ashamed to say how long it's been since I've used it.
I used it before for another. I had a job and I used to work from home, so we used it to stay in touch with each other behind the scenes for work. So if we needed help, that's how we would reach out to our superiors. Was through Skype. That was the last time. That was like 2 years ago. When it popped up, I'm like, wow, this conversation was like 2 years old. Jeez. Like, that was the last time I used this. But okay, so basically, since you already heard my podcast, I don't have a general agenda when it goes to it. I start with an agenda. I promise you, every time I hit that record button, I always have a topic that I'm gonna discuss, and like I always have, it's gonna go like this, it's gonna go like that. But whenever you deal, I guess, with mental health, on my topics, at least on my end, I can start off with an agenda and I'm gonna discuss this or I'm gonna cover that. But once I get in the flow, it's like feelings and emotions start to come out and other things pop up, and then the conversations start to switch to other topics, and I'd be like, oops, I'm sorry, I didn't finish that topic before I jumped into this one. And I never end up staying like on one topic, but it's just because of the ADHD along with everything else. I'm never like organized, which usually makes my content all over the place. But I kind of like that because I feel like the feedback I've gotten for the people that know me, they go, now I understand when you used to tell us like you're all over the place. Because when I listen to you, I get what you're doing, but you take me everywhere. I'm like, see, that's the mind of an ADHD. Welcome to my world. At least I know I'm giving you the experience of what my brain actually, you know, goes through on a day-to-day basis. And I've actually had people come to me and go, well, I never really thought that, you know, that's how it is. Like, I used to think people were joking when they'd be like, they can't focus or they can't do this or they can't do that. And I'm like, no, that's really how it goes. Exactly how you see me post like my content. That's my world. That's how it is on a day-to-day basis. So however you want to do this, I'm open to, you know, however you want to have the discussion, whatever it is you want to bring up.
I just like touch. I basically how I wanted to do it, how I had it set up. See, okay, we met in that. First of all, I just want to say, you know, when we met, we were in that little mastermind for that weekend. Basically, but I had been in a program before.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't planning on buying another program. I just wanted to see what that was about.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so you know, basically, I've been, you know, I just like to tell my story, you know, and what my message is. So it's very simple. So basically, you know, my story, how I was started off. You know, I just want to just go with it. That's how I do too. A lot of times I go with. I mean, I have a few things written down, but I go off script a little bit because this is my story. So this is my truth.
Yeah, you
So
do like I do. You go off your flow and your feelings.
yes, because basically, you know, people feel. I believe people start to feel more connected to you in that way as well. When you do it that way, because they're like, okay, it's not like she's reading from a script. People will feel much better.
They'll feel more connected to it. Especially because they'll feel the emotion coming behind it once you're telling it. Oh, I think we're still connecting again. Do you back? Oh, there we go. I think I lost you for a sec.
Basically, this is my story. Real quick, this is how it starts. I'm just gonna I don't know. I'm trying to think how to start. Okay, basically, how I came to want to help people. Like I told you, I wanted to help women and all of that with low self-esteem. And have been through a lot of trauma and everything. And it's not always trauma that's due to maybe being sexually abused or anything like that. But it could be feelings of abandonment. And a lot of this stuff starts with our childhood. But we don't realize, and a lot of us are still acting out childhood instances that happened to us in adulthood because we never got through it or never got past it, never been healed from it. So the reason why I say that is because my story starts basically from when I was 8 years old. I remember waking up in the darkness, and as I was waking up in the darkness, I realized that I was alone. My father was supposed to be there with me, but he wasn't. He had left me in the house by myself. And I'm walking around in the darkness, and then I begin to cry and everything. And basically, it started off like that, 8 years old, feeling. And then going to age 12, my parents come and they say that they're not going to be together anymore, anything like that. And then I start to feel more abandoned. So I'm taking you on a journey. I'm taking you on a journey as the child. I'm not taking you on a journey right now as who I am in the present time. I'm taking you back to the past.
Correct.
And so basically I would like to take people on that journey of going through the journey with me, because people will feel that a part of your story is like they can go along with that.
Correct.
Like I say, going back to age 12, parents say we're not going to be together no more. And then I feel before, man, and I feel like it's my fault. And I feel like there's nothing I can do. I'm not worthy. I'm not, meant for anything. I feel like it's my fault. And I fall into a deep depression of not wanting to come out the house, not wanting to go to school, not wanting to do anything, not wanting to be around people. I became very withdrawn away from people and everything because of that instance that happened to me when I was between 8 and 12 years old. And eventually I do go to school, but then I don't, I ended up dropping out of school in the 9th grade and not going back and becoming even more withdrawn.
Wow.
Because I was kind of almost like being bullied in school, so I felt like, okay, these people are making fun of me, so they won't accept me. So that's why I just wanted to hide away from the world. So
I understand that.
By that time, I'm 18. Now I already know school is over and everything. I'm still going through it. And then my father reappears in my life at 18 and comes around and he sees me and all of that. And I don't know how to act around him. We don't know how to embrace each other because it had been probably 4 years before I got before I seen him. So I should go back to when I was 14 when he bought me the bike or whatever. And we had that moment after him not being in my life for 2 or 3 years, coming in on my birthday and buying me a bike. But like I said, I try to touch on different instances in the story. So trust me, before we go live, I'll have this all together.
No worries. I love the walks though, because I like to get the story. I always love to get people's backstory because that actually gets you to understand. So I love how you're gonna do it, because
Yeah,
it gets people to understand the message better. Like you said, it allows them to, that emotion, they get to feel the rawness of it. They get to really, experience it with you, even though they weren't there with you.
right, right. Because everybody has a story. No matter how, even if they didn't think, even if they don't think their story is as bad as other people's stories, they still have a story. You still have a message you can convey to the world,
Correct.
you know, and they can help somebody else. And I was always afraid to tell my story and everything, and I never told nobody how I really felt over the years, so I kept a lot of stuff in.
That's
Yeah,
not good.
so like I said, okay, so basically, just cut straight through. I'm uh I'm about 30 years old, and I started a job and everything, and it's a job where like I'm doing working in the kitchen, and and then I start to realize, okay, I could be doing more than this. I could be doing something else with my life. I have more value in my life, so I started to feel like have like those small feelings, and then I still carry on and just go to work like you're supposed to. Just go to work, go to work, go to work. Then at the age 34, 2 years ago, I gave birth to my daughter. And as I was giving birth to her, you could say that was a rebirth for me,
Mm-hmm.
because when she was born, I started to realize, okay, something has to change in my life. I need to be doing things that I have a purpose, that I'm meant to be doing, not things that I'm just doing. I don't want to just be going through this world and
Through the
not really,
motions.
yeah, not really, like living up to what I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, like I said, so still I continued to go on and on and on. And then I began to like work on myself.
Yeah.
I began to work on myself before then, but I really started working on myself even harder, you know, in that time. Like, who am I? Why am I this way? Why am I so angry and all that? Because I look at my child and I say, okay, I can't continue on like this, because now I have somebody else that I
Mm-hmm.
can have in the world care for, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what led me to come out of work. I took a very serious chance. I wouldn't work the way nobody did what I did. I came out of work. I really just had my life savings, enough money that I had, a little bit of money that I had, maybe only like 4 or 5 months to live off of. When I wanted to become an entrepreneur. But
Wow.
at that time, I thought, okay, I'll just do I'll just do e-commerce or something like that. And it was okay for a little while, and then I realized that wasn't going to work. And I'm not saying I don't do that now, but then I still said, okay. But I still kept on having this lingering stuff. I want to help somebody. I want to help somebody. I've always done like that my whole life, even when I was going through what I was going through. I
Mm-hmm.
always help others. And I said, I don't know how. And then I came across this person who said, we all have a message to give to somebody. We all, and it starts with story, and this and that, and and then I got on the phone with the people, and at first they was really trying to go for it. They were asking me how everything was going with what I was doing, and I told them, I said, well, not the way I wanted to go. And then I got to her opinion. I said, I don't think I can do this, that, and she said, well, if you don't do something different today, then you'll never do nothing different. One, it's said, well, if it's not now, it's going to be never.
Correct.
So I took the program, took the program, and started learning about different things, more things. But not just that program. I mean, I've really been working on the mind, because it's really about the mind.
Yes. Yes.
It's the mindset.
Yes.
I started like 1 years ago, ironically, I came across a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill when I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
The book, but I never really like read the book or anything like that. Now, I came back across that book. I remember I had read that book years ago. I mean, I had the book years ago, and I knew what it was about. And I decided to go back to it. So I started, like, over the past few years, I've just been like really digging in with books on mindset, on saying things, affirmations, all of that.
Yeah.
You know, on that. And I was brought up a Christian, so, you know, my faith is still strong in God no matter what. That's how I was brought up. I don't try to, like, push it on anybody else. I don't believe anybody else should go along with what I believe in and all that. That's their choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what helps me. My faith has become really strong, too. So, it's all about, it's more to just thinking about you actually have to do the work. You can think and grow rich or whatever. You know, it's not just being rich and, you know, in money. It's about being rich in health.
Correct.
In every aspect of your life. Because
Correct.
money can't make you happy.
Correct.
It's not the money. It's what you decide to do. Because people who are highly successful or people who have gotten to a certain level, a lot of them have gone through this process. And they always tell you it's all about mindset. So I said I need to study up on that. So basically, I've been working on a little exercise to deal with people who I want to coach on that, on mindset and everything. Like I said, I'm just really just trying to walk through it, talk you through it, the story. So it might sound like unorganized.
No worries.
I'm like, because really I want to save the best for the podcast, the actual podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely, like I said, I know it's going to be stuff. So I only have about 30 minutes to actually really get to the root of it, correct?
Well, Skype, I don't think gives us a time limit, does it? That's why I picked Skype. I did that on purpose because Zoom only gives you 30 minutes and then it cuts you off. So when I looked up through Skype when I was reading, Skype doesn't give you a cutoff time. And then my podcast, I record as long as I want to. So that's whatever I choose to record the length of my show. So you don't necessarily have technically a cutoff time. That's the reason why I went through Skype, because I didn't want to rush. I don't like feeling rushed, one, because I feel like when a message is rushed, it doesn't get portrayed across correctly, and it doesn't, you know what I'm saying, the message doesn't get out there the right way. So I wanted a platform that was going to let us have our conversation without you having to feel like you were going to be rushed or having to cut out whatever important pieces you may have wanted to put in because of a time frame. So Skype did not give no limit on how long we could actually have our session on here. So you're not limited to how long you want to have, you know what I'm saying, how long you want to make the podcast session. Because like I said, I record, some of my recordings are 20 minutes, some of them are an hour. It just depends on how long the conversation usually goes, or whatever it is the topic is usually what I record.
I guess I probably could be ready now with it. I'm just making sure, because I don't want to go over, but I want to make sure the message gets out there.
Yeah. That's why I picked the Skype, because when I kept reading, I'm like, I don't want to do Zoom because Zoom is going to be 30 minutes and I'm going to feel like we're rushed. I'm going to feel like we're going to cut out important things, and I don't want to do that, because I always feel like when anybody, but more like, at least when I do it with my mental health stuff going on and my ADHD, I feel like I end up omitting or by accident not seeing like the most important stuff because I'm trying to rush and put everything in within the time frame. And then I feel like, for me at least, it seems like it's all over the place, even though it's not. But it then feels like it's all over the place and like the message wasn't clear. So that's why I was like, nope, let's use Skype, because at least Skype will give us time to, you know, we can have the conversation. You can relay a message however long it is. However, you know, you don't feel like you have to cut anything. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, I don't want the message rushed. I'd rather the message get out there correctly versus it having to be rushed.
I'm sorry, I enjoy my side package. So somebody say,
but yeah, so you definitely don't have a time limit. So that's definitely up to you and however long your story would end up being.
Yeah, so basically that's what I want to walk through, you know, a little touch of my story, a bit about how I came, you know, and there's other parts that I didn't tell you that I actually probably end up putting in that. I mean, I do have it written down. I might have to
Okay.
So that's basically a part of it. But you know, like I said, I wanted to first touch on up because you know us you know too much gravitating around the environment. We had really truly been through a lot of trauma in period. You know, just as an issue alone. You know, just as a culture.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's culturally based. You know, it's other things like I said, dealing with things that you just go through in your life when you're young, or
Correct.
when you know, or when something happens in your family or whatever, or you lose someone. Uh, so there are all kinds of things that happen that come up that cause trauma.
Correct.
And I touch on dealing with how it started in childhood and everything, because people don't know their inner child. People don't know it has something a lot to do with your inner child.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I touch on that in mindset. I found that if you truly do believe that you know you're meant to do something, you know, I'm wealthy, I am strong, I am kind, I'm
Yeah, the
everything that you
affirmations.
everything that you want.
Correct. That's the law of attraction. I've been
Yeah.
actually working very hard with that lately because like you said, the mindset is a very powerful thing. My egg donor, I will not call her by what she's supposed to be. If I slip up, I usually fix it to egg donor, but we don't have a type of relationship at all. Like, she just never was a mother. She just never was. I don't even know why she had me, but I still ask. I mean, I try to get answers and never get the answers. um she was so negative. She was such a negative person that I grew up in a complete negative mind frame, mindset, atmosphere when I was with her. So when I was with my grandparents, they were the complete opposite. My mind frame though was completely negative. Whenever somebody would tell me you can do this, my mind would automatically go, no, you can't. Like, no matter what, I could get good grades, I always found something wrong with it. If I did a project and it said there was 100, I would still find, well, why did the teacher give me 100? Like, look at this little typo here, or look at this little. I always try to find the negative in everything because that's how
Wow.
she raised me. She just raised me to, I would never amount to anything in my life. Like, I was never going to be anybody. So technically right now we're homeless. We live in a motel. I'm losing my legs. I'm in and out of a wheelchair. Like, my mind has been eating my body so much that they don't even know why I'm ending up in a wheelchair. They don't even know why I'm losing half of my left side. All they keep pinning it on is my mental health. I stutter when I get overwhelmed and frustrated. I can't even yell or scream because my body will not allow me to get agitated in any shape, way, or form. This is how much negativity has been such a bad impact within my life. My kids, she embedded it in my two oldest because she never got to meet the little one. So she embedded it in my two oldest. Through my pregnancy, I never let her have anything to do with like the little one. So even when I gave birth and we were living in her house, I never let her see her. Like, we would go to another room if she walked in because I just did not want her to affect the last one like she affected the first two. And it's now, we've been away from her for 3.5 years and we're still trying to get away of that negative that she embedded in us so badly. That, like, that mental health, like mental mind frame, like you said, is so strong. This past 30 days I did a 30-day challenge, affirmation challenge for myself, and I posted it on TikTok, and I was doing it on my Instagram with my parenting mental health platforms for them to follow me too. And those 30 days alone have changed my mind frame from it being so negative. It's not, it's still some, it still pops up every once in a while, but then I'll say my affirmations and build myself back up and it goes away. But from all these years, because I'm 42, from all these years of 42 years of negativity, I've been able to flip it in 30 days of affirmations to slowly start getting towards that positive side to the point that it's even twinkling to my kids. Huh?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to say this. I don't know the affirmation, what you're doing. First of all, your story. Oh my gosh, wow. First of all, sorry that you had to go through that. And I couldn't imagine. Like I said, my story is not as. That's why I didn't think I was worth. I didn't even think I was worthy of telling the story because I'm like, okay, Mine's is not as bad as a lot of people. I mean, my mother is still very loving. I mean, me and her, and then me and her really don't get along sometimes, but it's because we're so different.
Different,
But
yeah.
she really is a loving parent, and she always has been and always will be, and she's an even more loving grandmother. Oh my goodness. My daughter, she has boys. My daughter, she was watching my daughter when I was working before I came out. But anyway, I want to challenge you also not to just put that on TikTok. I was just saying, if you just little notepad, small little note, if you have a small little notepad.
Oh yeah, I do. I have it up in front of me. I have them up, and I write them down every single day, 5 times a day, 3
Put in your pocket. Take them everywhere you go, and look at them all throughout the day.
Mhm.
If you have somewhere to go, just keep it.
Yeah.
Take them when you're traveling, because post it all around. Like you said, you already doing that. So
Yeah.
just like keep it not just one place, all around you. Because it's something. It's like you're strengthening a muscle.
Correct.
It's like you're strengthening when you're doing this. And sometimes you have to. I used to like think messed up when you talk to yourself and stuff, but sometimes you have to speak out loud and say things to yourself.
Mhm.
And say those things to yourself.
Mhm. That's something I started to learn how to do too. I just started learning to do that.
Because every day, and like we say, like we know it's the law of attraction. That it's definitely the law of attraction. And I believe things will start to change because I'm doing that right now. I'm even heavier in doing that in this month of March, and it's really heavy with me doing that because I have certain things that I'm trying to, certain goals I want to meet and I will meet. I don't like to say I want to make, or I'm trying. I don't like saying those words because that's why the universe is going here is try.
Correct. You have goals that you're going to achieve. You have goals that you're going to reach.
Right. You have to say, go out and say, I am, or I will.
You have to manifest that it's going to happen.
Like even when people say I'm cancer free, don't even use that word. If it's something like you're going through, like even saying that word. I was listening to something. I'm also a part of a credit cleaner. I'm an affiliate with a credit cleaner place, but it's a wonderful. It's wonderful because we have something every Thursday when we come and we meet. But about 2 weeks ago, they had a speaker on there, and she's talking about the same thing we're talking about. She's been through a lot in her lifetime too. Wow, story is amazing. And she was talking about that. She was touching on that too. She said, "Do not say the word." She said, "You hear people say that. You don't say the word. Say I'm free. I'm helped. Just say I'm healthy." And say, I put the word which you are in there. Because the universe, these words, it's very careful. Even the Bible says that, even the Bible touches on that about saying certain things out of your mouth.
Correct.
It goes to the atmosphere, to the universe,
and it brings it right back to you.
Yes, it comes right back to you. Like I never realized I touch myself so much now, saying certain things, and I'm like, oh, and I feel so bad because now I change it around real quick. People think I'm like, like, okay, why are you doing? Yeah, because it's very important, and I noticed that I feel different every day. So yeah, just you're definitely doing great with that.
Thank you. I'm trying. Like I'm doing it. I'm not trying. I'm doing it. It's a work, but it's not hard work. It's just something I'm not accustomed to because I wasn't raised in it. So it's a habit I have to get used to.
Yes, just keep on doing it no matter what, and you just have to keep on doing it. Because we're still human. It's not like it's going to be 100% every day and you're going to feel good about doing it. But that's another thing I wanted to touch on. You have to get in the use of not being comfortable. Become too comfortable, too complacent to things in life. We become too complacent. That's what it was. I just said, you know what? I'm tired of being comfortable. And before I even understood what it meant about being uncomfortable, about how a lot of successful people, how they got to where they had to get, they not the successful. I'm not, when I say successful, I don't mean like, I'm talking about like how they think and how they go about doing things. You know,
Yeah.
they have made tremendous sacrifices. They'll tell you, you know, they've come out and they have come out of some really dark stuff too. And
Yeah.
I listen, so I try to like keep a lot of positivity around me. I don't know if you ever heard of him, Les Brown. You ever heard of Les Brown?
No.
Listen to him. He has an amazing story. Him and his twin brother were born in an abandoned house and were adopted. And he said he would never survive. He was considered to be mentally retarded.
Okay.
And anyway, he now speaks all over the world. He would never think this, like I think this guy constantly beating himself and stuff.
What was his first name again?
Les, L-E-S.
Okay.
Brown. B-R-O-W-N. Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, Les Brown. Yeah. So he's very good. That's who I listen to a lot of. So yeah, he's really encouraging. There's so much. And there's another guy. He doesn't even have no legs, no arms, or anything. He only has.
Wow.
Did you know all? I can't think of his name right now, but if I think of it for the podcast, I'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely let me know, because I'm always looking for, other ways to stay on this positive road, because
like awards and stuff, but things that you wouldn't even think of, like in sports, but he doesn't have any experience.
Yeah. See, that's why I always say, one thing I try to always do is, there's always somebody in a worse situation than mine. So that's how I always try to stay okay with mine, because I try to remind myself that there's somebody who had it worse than me.
Right. Well, your story is definitely amazing. And like I said, you go on Facebook. You go on any Facebook groups?
Yeah, I actually have a Facebook group that I'm starting, honestly, and I need to finish getting it out there, but I am in a couple of Facebook groups. The only thing is, I go in there, like, I surf and I look, but a lot of them don't meet the needs, I guess, that I'm looking for, so I don't kind of really stay.
That's basically what you have to start doing, is just like getting in there, basically join groups with people, with women who have like a similar thing that's going on. Like you have to like find like in your topic, you have to find like your niche.
That's the thing. There's nothing in my niche. My niche is literally parenting with mental illness. But like that's why I have it as my niche, because there is no support. Like I can Google and I will pop up. Like my pages will pop up on the first screen of Google, because there is nothing. Like hold on. If I put up parenting with mental illness, I think that's the one that pops up on the first page of Google. If I put up life as a single parent with mental illness, which is what my podcast is called, I think that pops up like on the second or the third page of Google. But there really is not any support, anything out there that advocates for people in my situation. So my niche, what I really am trying to create my whole coaching and my whole platform and everything about, is technically ignored out there in the mental health world.
Well, so when I say like that, I don't mean like that. I'm talking about actually help, about getting people, about getting blind.
Oh, okay.
Facebook group, those groups that you're already in. You have to start being active and start just going in there. First of all, you don't want just to say, basically you just have to know how to attract. You have to learn how to attract. Remember they were saying that. Remember like Kate O'Shea.
Yeah.
Like I was so amazed at her that she. I like I said, I follow a lot of people in positivity and things. So I had that book to now all that attractive marketing. I'm in some level involved in network marketing too. Anyway, it's all so you have to go out and attract people to you.
Yeah.
Like it might slow, but you have to like start like going in and telling your story and saying, and this is, and then eventually you work your way up to saying, I help people.
Yeah.
with this.
Yeah, you're right. I got you. I do have one group that I can actually do that in, but I actually don't talk in there. Which is what's her name? The one we were talking about.
Take a week, just go in there and just start like we all have a story. It's our story. We all have a story, and we all have a message, and that message can turn into something really significant. We start talking, and you're surprised how many people say, "Well, I would like to, be a part of that." Because actually, I have something I'm working on for the actual podcast that I plan on giving out to everyone who's interested in taking it.
I got
if they're interested in anything, so it's something that I actually was working on. And, it's not going to have to pay any money for it. It's going to be a free gift.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, so I'm like working on that because I've been working, like I said, between me doing my actual business and all that, I've been working really hard to try to get ready for today because I said I do not want to disappoint.
No worries. It wasn't anything big for today. I just wanted to make sure that it's the vibe, because I don't edit anything, so like I always want to make sure people are comfortable, because I don't like editing. I feel like when you edit, you miss a lot. Like sometimes the little small side conversations give a lot of information that most people don't realize that what you plan doesn't really give out. You know what I mean? And that's why sometimes I don't like the editing, because I've caught myself sometimes saying certain things and I'd be like, darn it, I should have recorded that instead of recording what I was recording. And I'd be having a whole conversation with myself. And I'm like, instead I was too busy, I'm trying to make it, how can I put it? Like, I guess pleasing, because I'm trying to be like everybody else instead of just being myself. So that's why I was like, I like to just go with the flow. Whatever's caught is caught. And the editing piece I don't do, because everything always flows together perfectly. That's how you get the most freedom in your conversation, is when you're able to just flow versus when you are in a tight schedule or when you feel like you have to conform to whatever else anybody else is telling you have to do.
Mama?
No, but definitely I want to set up a date. Let me know what date you want to actually sit down so we can record and you can tell your full entire story.
So you say you're going to be doing that through Skype as well?
I'll do it through Skype, yeah, because one, Skype allows me to record it, which like I recorded this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a little advertising piece. I'm probably going to take a piece from here and I'll put it on my podcast, like, coming soon. I'll do like a little advertising piece for it. Yeah, because I like see the building suspense thing, like they told us in the coaching. Remember, you gotta.
No, I'm not.
I was like, I didn't think about it till I saw the record button. I'm like, wait, let me record some of this, because then I can take a clip from here and I can throw it into one of my podcasting, and I could just say, hey, I got an interview coming up. Check out for it soon, and we can start building in the anticipation for it. I thought about it when we started talking about the coaching piece, and I remembered about her. Then I was like, oh, let me hit the record button.
They don't announce. They build it up.
The anticipation, yeah. And I thought about that, and I was like, yeah, we need to do that, because this is a message I really want. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to pay attention to. And the sad part is, not sad part, but the funny part is, I have a lot of listeners, and I didn't even realize that. Because the other day I was actually looking at my analytics, and I thought nobody pays attention to my podcast. And I'm like, oh, snap. I really do get listened to. Like, and I get listened to in a lot of places that I would never think I would ever get listened to. But I was like, I thought my podcast was getting no, attention or no traction. I'm sitting here thinking I'm talking to myself half of the time. And I'm like, and I really opened it up the other day, and I was like, wow, okay. So I'm sitting here talking to myself thinking I'm talking to myself, but in reality, I have people actually listening, and there's actually a good amount of listeners. So now that I really do know that, I'm trying to now utilize it and be smart by it. So I want to build that anticipation so that this way we can get your story out there, and hopefully, you know, who knows who it helps. You know, who knows who may actually need to hear it, because that's always been my thing. I never know who needs to hear this story, but if it's being told and if I'm the one telling it, it's because somebody has to hear it. Like, you know what I mean? It was put on my heart, or it was put on my plate, like I always say. It was put on my plate for a reason, so I might as well just go right ahead and dig in, because there's a reason why God put it there. So
yes, because like I said, when I went through the program, I mean, when we went through that, when we did that weekend, to be honest with you, I mean, obviously, I do still consider myself now to be a coach, but it's not like I was trying to look to, like, really, I just want to
you were
participate.
exploring, yeah.
And no, you know, I just wanted to know everybody, because I meant, you know, like I said, it's not about that to me. Like you said, you have to attract people. You have to not attract people to you in that way, and all of that. So, and then when I seen your message of this, and Donna, your stories are really, and I'm like, wait a minute, my story? See, you know, you didn't say anything. I mean, you didn't see nobody else.
Because you have a story to tell.
Like, really, like, I still can't believe the actually people actually find that amazing, you know, because I'm like, well, I'm just like, this is really just my story that I'm telling. But, and like I said, in the training that I've had prior, that, you know, talked about all that, how that can be and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely ready to get this whenever you are, because like I said, you got a story to tell. Every story, no matter how little people think their story is, you never know who can help, because it may have been small for you, but somebody else could be going through it, and for them it could be a bigger storm. It could be something bigger than what, you know what I'm saying, that what mine could be to me. And it could still be something small, but they can't carry that weight the way you carried that weight. So that's why sometimes by telling the story, you're giving the strength to that other person. When you were talking that day, I'm like, ooh, wait, I finally found somebody else who has a story. I was like, I definitely got to take advantage of this connection, because if I don't, who knows whenever I'm going to run into somebody else who's willing to say they have a story, because a lot of people are not willing to say that they have a story.
Right. I definitely have a story. We all have a story. See, everyone has a story in them. Everybody has, even like I said, everybody has a gift. Everybody has a message. All of us, God gave every single one of us a gift. And like I said, I don't know if you ever listen to Steve. I told you I listen to so much inspirational stuff. That's all I listen to. I hardly even watch regular stuff on television. But Steve Harvey has a motivational speech.
Yeah, I love
Like,
Steve Harvey.
Jump. Yeah, it's called Jump. And I'm not really, I'm to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest Steve Harvey fan. I mean, I like him. I mean, I like, you know, he's been around, but that really changed my mindset about him when I heard that. It's called Jump.
Jump.
And he talked about, you know, we got to stop thinking of singing and dancing and all that. So, you know, how some people might have the smallest gift, and that can turn them into something else, you know? God, but we have to learn to bring that gift out. We got to learn how to see what it is that we got to learn how to tap into, the God that's in us. We got to learn how to tap into that, because he put it inside of us, he's inside of us, and we got to learn how to bring it out.
Correct.
I start to wake up every day, and I wake up. I actually look forward to getting up. Sometimes I go to bed late and I still get up early, because I actually look forward to it, because I say every day I'm doing something that's going to change somebody's life. And I never want to get out of bed again and not be worried that somebody didn't wake up. But I did. God gave me another chance today.
Amen. Correct. That is so true.
You know, because we take it for granted. This little bit short time that we have, you know, it's true. You know, we really do truly take it for granted. And I'm like, you know, it's like, I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. I know people really are going, like you said, you're going through a lot. I'm going through a lot. A lot of people are going through something. So I don't want to be offensive when I say this, but it's almost like we're saying, okay, people can say, I believe in God, not just, no, how can you say that you truly do, and you don't want to live up to it. You don't want to live the life if you gave you live.
Correct.
You don't want to, like, live up to your purpose.
Correct.
You know, I understand a lot of people don't understand that. You're not there. So basically, you know, I have exercises and stuff that I want to give out to people. So basically, this is what I want to do. I want to finish up with that. Like I said, I want to finish up with what I want to, you know, put out your audience.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not totally free. So I want to continue to work on that because I haven't, the past couple of days, I haven't had the chance to work on that.
Okay.
But I had written down what I'm going to put in it and everything, and I just want it to be something. I just want to be a blessing to somebody. That could be something that can help, and that could also start building up relationships and stuff.
Definitely.
So that's definitely what I want to do. Like you say, you can go ahead and start putting out those snippets of what we talked about, what we touched on, and everything, and that'll help build up
the anticipation of it. Yep.
I'm gonna give it like a week. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a week before I get back to you and let you give you a date.
Okay. No worries.
Maybe 2 weeks, but it won't be too long. Okay?
No worries, because I'm also starting a coaching program too. I just signed up for another one. Not another one. I signed up, for a different one, not the one that we went to the training for, because there was no way in heck I was gonna be able to afford theirs. That was.
Who is it?
This one is with Health. Hold on, I know the name. Health Coach Institute. They have a dual certificate. Theirs is life and health coach. So you're getting duo. You're gonna get a life coach training certificate and a health coach training certificate.
Oh, okay.
So you're doing duo at the same time, which is why I wanted to do that one, because of the mental health piece. The fact that I want to work with people who have mental health. I want to work with people. I mean, they're not gonna be just my only, priority, but because I want to work with that, the mind, like we said, the mind is a very powerful thing. Plus also I know that eating correctly also helps a lot. Sleeping correctly also helps a lot. And their program is actually certified by the Institute Coach Life thing. So I can work with anybody internationally anywhere, and I can actually get once I complete it, I can actually get a job to even work at any business. I don't have to just have my own coaching business if I don't want to work for myself. Some of their people actually went to work for, like, Board of Eds, health department, and things like that, because the credentials are actually legit credentials.
Right.
So I decided to enroll with them because their monthly payment was a heck of a lot cheaper than what the guys were trying to offer. And
I wasn't trying to do that. Like I said, I've already been in the coaching program. I feel like I don't need.
You don't need nothing else. I never had a coaching program, so with this one, I get a coach through the whole entire time I'm with the program with them. But I like the fact that I get the dual license, like I get the dual certification. They do help you build the business piece as well, but I just love the fact that it was the dual certification. So not only can I help somebody get their life together, I can also help them get their health together.
I can't wait to go through the program and get some certification. That sounds very, very great. I'm proud of it.
Thank you.
Because that's, they're gonna talk about things like, and that's really important too. And that's another thing that I'm actually taking myself through a challenge with the health, because the health and wealth, to be honest with you, even though we talk about it, it's very about what we've been through and all this stuff. The health community, to be honest, is the top. It's really a top thing for coaching programs. It really is. When I tell you it's top programs, when you get out here and help people and all that stuff, they have people that when those guys said that how much they're getting for teaching coaches, the coaches themselves are getting pretty good.
Correct. That's why I had to jump on it, man. When they told me they did the duo and I was like, how much is the program? They were like $6,000. And I was like, and you have a deal going on right now? Well, actually, it was a little more than 6,000 because they have a deal. And it dropped it down to 6,000 because I got 2,000 off by just going to their lives and catching a deal right now. And then they threw in, because they even cover like type 2 diabetes. They cover a whole bunch of stuff so that you can help, you know, people actually walk through, you know, diabetes and stuff like that. They have one of their coaches actually was diagnosed with MS. She actually, through her health coaching and her own stuff that she did, she's actually what they call now, which is diagnosed that they just came up with now, has no signs of MS, no signs of ever having MS at all, because she put herself there by doing the coaching and the health piece and everything else. So now she has no signs of MS, no anything shows that she ever had it. If it wasn't that her health records show that she had MS her whole life, you would have never thought she ever had MS. So like they're giving us that her program, like they walking through a lot of stuff that didn't compare to what the guys were doing. And I was just like, yeah, I need the duo. Like, I need to have both. I'm sorry, I need to be greedy for the same price.
That's amazing. You know, it really is. It really is amazing. The good thing that you found out about it. You know.
Yeah, it fell into my lap by accident, and I was like, oh well, let me just try it, because I was looking into 4 different. Stop lyrical. I was looking into 4 different programs, and I know the guys because I got their Facebook group book. So that's how I was into their group already anyways, and I know them, and I do love them. But that was too much money that they were asking for, so there was just no way in heck I was pulling that off. Then I saw another guy. He's pretty good too. He's way up there, but because he's already so well known, his program is ridiculously high. So I was like, there's just no way in heck I can do him, because he's so well known that forget it. But I go to all his free seminars. Like, you know, I make sure I'm at all his free stuff to get all his, you know, advice, but I just can't do his program. And then when I ran into the girls, the ladies, because there are 2 ladies who are, one of them is the life coach, the other one's actually the health coach. They just combined 12 years ago and opened the business together. And everything is virtual with them. They do have live events that you can go to once a year, I think it is, because they do expect you to do that one for the 3 days. Outside of that, everything else is virtual. But when I ran into them and I started hearing a couple of the stories, what I loved was the fact that nobody else, even the guys, they tell you that you have your own coach, blah, 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 but nobody else talked about how deep the training was for them when they went through it. You know what I mean? While they were trying to become a coach. So nobody was touching bases on how it was affecting them, transforming them as a person while they were doing the coaching program. Everybody in this institute that I've run into, every live that I listen to, those in the chat, everyone that has talked about the program, even one of the ladies that did the live, she said herself, she said, I didn't become a coach because I saw that it wasn't for me, but I finished the program, and she said it transformed my whole entire life. It wasn't meant for me to be a coach, but the program itself changed my whole entire life, you know, and made me who I am today. That alone is what made me go, I have to do it. Because even if, let's say, like, coaching isn't for me, you know, whatever reason it may be, but I doubt that that's true, I at least got the money worth out of it, because it would transform my whole entire life. Nobody else in any other seminar that I have been to, really, people weren't really saying that. Like, they weren't really talking about how the program that they signed up for transformed their life, as well as the fact that it gave them the ability to be a coach. That's why I had to go with this place, because everybody was, it was just too much. I couldn't not. You listen to the speakers, you can feel it when they were talking. Like, you can genuinely feel the transformation that their lives did because they took that program and because they went through the steps themselves. And the reason I think why it is also so good and why I took it too, they make you take the program, but while you're while you're taking the program, you're also doing the same steps for the case study, because you have to find 2 people to do a case study on. And the same steps you're taking for yourself, you're going to then implement it on your case study at the same time that you're learning them.
And that's exactly what I think doing, because like I said, I want to be as real as possible with people. I want to be, okay, I study all this stuff and I want to help you and all that stuff, but I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I am not the best person in the world, you know. I'm not, more and anything. I'm not like this all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and it's like, people feel that, I want them to feel me. I don't
The
want
realness.
I want the realness to be out there. Like, because like I said, when we talk about the diet, I'm
Yep.
actually getting ready to do a detox later on this month with my something that I've done before. So I know that it actually does work. I didn't do it very long, but it's really a lot of this stuff that has happened because I have been actually studying up on dietary detox for the past couple of years. And I don't know if you ever heard of Dr. Sabi.
No.
Dr. Sabi, basically, he was someone, he actually had, cured people from AIDS.
Oh, wow.
Cured people from all different kinds. He even cured a woman who was in a wheelchair. He cured somebody who was in a wheelchair who didn't have, told they would never walk. He cured a woman who also basically she was on her deathbed.
Wow.
It was so bad. They were actually planning a funeral. They had the dress and all that. Turned it right around. Alive, walking around. She's doing better than me. And she's doing better than me.
Wow. See, that's why we said a mindset is such a powerful thing, man.
Thank you.
People don't understand how powerful it is. I tell people all the time, you need to be careful what you think because it will definitely affect you and you don't even know how badly it can affect you.
Right. And but the diet, the food and stuff, the foods and stuff that we've been
That's
eating,
important too.
It has a lot to do with how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
This artificial dyes and stuff that they put in the food, the different chemicals that they put in the food.
Correct.
It's a lot of stuff that we eat here. It's bad in like the UK and other and I'm talking about third world countries. It's actually bad. Really, literally, that's how serious it is. But here they say it's safe. FDA considers it to be safe.
Yeah.
Even with the COVID thing, I'm not going to touch on that. All people are so sensitive about that. But even there's a lot of stuff that's really with that too. It's crazy. But I'm not going. I don't touch on that too much. But yeah, diet is very important in sleep. That's why I've been working on that too. I'm trying to go to sleep at certain times, but it's hard when you have a toddler.
Mm-hmm. Who don't want to go to bed?
And get up and see. I'm trying to keep her up all day. She wants to. And then eventually she gets so tired. Take a nap at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
Want to stay asleep for a long time.
I know that feeling.
Boy, I'm gonna have to do now, because I'm gonna have to let her to sleep while I wake her up. She's so dang on cranky.
Yeah, I used to hate that.
Yeah, I mean, Mom did too, because I need help with that. I constantly need help. I mean, I had family and stuff that tell me and give me all the advice they can, and then I had some people tell me, well, that's just the way she might be, because some kids don't like to go to sleep early. I was like, oh Lord. So that's not very easy.
It's not. Yeah, my 3-year-old won't take a nap. She will not nap. And then because she won't nap, she won't go to bed at bedtime either.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we will literally, it could be 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still fighting with her to go to sleep.
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. And you say you're still going correct? And she's
Yes,
3?
and she's 3. But see, I wasn't going through it before. Before, she would come to me and be like, Mommy, I'm tired. I'm going to go lay down. I'd be like, okay, grown girl, go ahead. Go do your thing. And she'd go lay down and go to sleep. Lately, though, the past month and a half, it's been opposite. I don't know if because she's going to be 4 soon in May. But I'm going to need her to get out that because them terrible 3s supposed to be over with soon. I need them fantastic 4s to come on. Or the fabulous 4s, I need them to come on. Because these 3s got to go. But I used to have the same problem with the middle one, my son. I used to have to use melatonin to get him to go to sleep because the only problem was since he was so overtired, his brain would race too much and it wouldn't allow him to go to sleep. And that's why he wouldn't go to sleep. It's not that he didn't want to, because he would sit there and tell me, Mommy, I'm tired. I want to sleep. I can't. My mind won't let me. Because I always talk to my kids like they're adults. So their vocabulary has always been extensive. And that's when I started to realize, oh, snap. Okay, then you may just need a little help. It may not just be, you know what I'm saying, that you're having your terrible 3 problems going on. You may need a little bit more of assistance. And that's with him, that's what it was. He needed help with melatonin so his brain could shut down enough so that he could go to sleep. Because he would be so overtired, he said his mind would just keep going and going and going. Mine does that too. But I never thought it was, you know, I never put 2 and 2 together, to be honest with you. That I'd be so overtired that's why I would race. But I had used melatonin. Melatonin is a natural, so that's the only reason why I did it. Plus, it's the only thing that they really give, you know, kids when they take psych meds that doesn't affect the body in any shape, way, or form. So without that, I wouldn't have been able to do it. He was the same way. He would go 2 or 3 days straight without sleeping. The most he would stay up was be 72 hours. Yeah, the most he would stay up would be 72 hours straight without getting any sleep.
Wow.
And I used to have to be up with him because, you know, I wasn't going to leave him, you know, up alone. Me and my oldest would take turns sometimes, but she was still a kid, so I wasn't going to let her stay up all night. She would just watch him during the day so I can get some sleep.
Right.
But yeah, sometimes you just, unfortunately, sometimes you gotta ride the rodeo, because sometimes that's just the way they are. Other times though, what I've noticed when I used to be a toddler teacher and I had kids who didn't want to take a nap, because our nap time was from 1 to 3, I wouldn't do anything, any activities that were too active right before nap. Like, I would make sure I took them outside of the playground, or we did some type of exercises at least 2 hours before I wanted nap time, so they could start burning off some of their energy. I used to do that with this little one. I used to make him run around in the living room, just run in circles. He'd be like, why, Mommy? I need you to burn some energy out. Just run in circles. Whatever was active. But I would make sure that whatever they were going to do before I wanted him to lay down was more of a downtime. Whether it was reading a book, whether it was just coloring. I didn't try to do anything too mind-blowing, creative, that the mind would get going or the body would want to be active. And then sometimes I would just have to lay with him, whether I wanted to or not. I knew that if I didn't lay down with him, he wasn't going to take a nap. So sometimes I would just have to lay down with him and wait till he fell asleep. That's when I would like read my books or do my schoolwork. And I would just sit next to him or lay next to him while I was reading and highlighting until he actually fell asleep. It took me like a week or 2 of doing that with him until he actually got a nap time routine. And then I didn't have to do it no more.
Right. My daughter's like that too. She's very active. So I said I had to like build up a better routine with her. To be honest, I don't have a great, the best routine. And I have to build up a better one with her.
Yeah, that could be it. Once you have a routine, she may take a nap, because that may be what she needs.
Because a lot of times, she does. See, it depends on what time it's not like every single night. It depends on what time she goes to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
If she goes to sleep 8 to 10 p.m., she get up, she'll get up like, early. Sometimes she'll get up with me like 7. Sometimes I'm already up at 7 or 8 o'clock. And she'll stay up. And she stays up for a while until about 12 o'clock. She takes a nap at 12. then she will stay up longer and then go back and then go to sleep.
Okay.
So it's like, don't.
It depends on the day. See, but what I used to do to be mean, and I'm honest, I used to do it to be mean. My theory is, and I still do it now, you want to stay up late because you can't go to sleep or you don't want to go to sleep, do know that I'm waking you up at the same time I do the next morning. Don't get mad at me. Don't get upset. But if you want to hang like an adult and stay up like an adult, then you must get up like an adult. And my son gets mad at me when I do it, but I tell him all the time, hey, you want to get up, stay up? You claim you can't fall asleep, but I can clearly tell in your eyes that you're tired as heck. Then you're going to still have to get up the next day at the same time. I'm not going to let you sleep late. Because you're thinking, oh, if I can't go to sleep now, it's cool. Don't worry about it. I can sleep late tomorrow. Nope. Get up. And I do it to my 3-year-old sometimes too. Wake up. Mommy, I'm tired. Then next time I tell you to go to bed, that means go to bed. Okay, Mommy. And she gets it now. Like, she'll get it now. If I be like, go to bed. But she'll still go walking to the bed. Like, she'll cry walking all the way to the bed and laying down. But she gets it now. I'm not going to sit there and then let you sleep late. Nope. If our routine is to get up at this time, we're going to get up at that time. You have to understand that when we tell you to go to sleep, you have to go to sleep. There's consequences. You're told to go to bed at a certain time for a reason. You need that more than I do. I don't have to be in bed with you. You're the child. I'm the adult.
Exactly.
You go to sleep. She be getting mad at me. Be like, I don't care. But yeah, sometimes if you may have to just wake her up the next day early. Like if she went to sleep early, and see if she gets upset, and she may not even want to do it again if you don't let her sleep late. If on a regular basis, normally she wakes up early with you anyways, or normally she wakes up at a certain time, I would still wake her up around that time. And even if she's cranky or mad, hey, baby girl, this is why you're supposed to go to bed on time. You wouldn't be cranky or mad right now. And you keep pointing it out, it'll click. It'll end up clicking. This is why I have to go to sleep. Because sometimes the kids just think that we're trying to send them to bed because we don't want them around, or they're going to miss out on something. Nope, it's time to go to bed. Everybody's going to go to bed, but you have your own bedtime and I have my bedtime. There's a difference. I don't have to go to bed when you do.
Yeah, I'm trying everything you said. I really have. Seriously, you just don't know. I will listen to people. I listen to everything anybody tell me about that who's had children, because I'm only 1 year to about 4 years in June. So I watch other people's children. I had family members and stuff watching, but it's still different when you actually have your own.
Have your own, correct. It's different because you're 24/7 with them. I tell people that all the time. You can tell me you love kids all you want, but unless you're 24/7 with them for more than a month, don't tell me nothing. Because I keep them one day, send them the next day, that ain't nothing. Because you get really... But she's still young, so she's going into 2s soon. So the 2s are already she's gonna be really she's gonna be more defiant with her sleep. If she's already having a difficult, she's probably gonna be more defiant with it. Normally that's how it goes. You just gotta get her into that one routine that you can't, and even if you gotta disrupt her sleep, it's gonna be uncomfortable. But once you can get that her to understand this is how it goes, you're not gonna have that problem no more. Because that's that control piece. It comes down to control. Toddlers can only control their body. They can't control anything else around. They know that. They know that they can't only control themselves. So if you want them to do something and they don't want to do it, they know that they can control their body. That's the only way they know they can be defiant without actually being in trouble. That's the only way that they can show control. That's the only way they can manipulate. You want them to go to sleep, they're going to want the opposite. It's on purpose. That's why with my students, I used to turn around and be like, this is what I need. Okay, so I'm going to try to make it a mind game. I would flip it, or I would try to make it fun. I'm not about to fight a whole bunch of toddlers. Oh, heck no, that's not happening. We about to all get along, and this is about to get done. It's just a whole control. That's what she can control. Even if you give her a little bit of a leeway. Make it fun. Have her pick out her pajamas. If you guys do a bath before bed, Have her pick out her pajamas, lay out 2 different pajamas, make it a routine. If she's trying to be more independent, because sometimes that's what happens, they're trying to be more independent, they don't want your help, they want to be on their own, because there you go. So then give her a task. Have her pick her own pajamas out, have her lay out
anything. Now I'm like, where in the world did this come from?
That's that. I'm telling you, be welcome parenthood. It's not gonna get no easier. It's not gonna get no easier.
Like, but she's so little. Like, it's amazing.
It's the personality.
Like, it's amazing.
It's
like how fast they are.
It's the personality. I tell people all the time, this is how I look at kids. I look at kids as miniature adults. Their body just needs to catch up to their personality and their brain. But they're adults in little bodies, and that's why I talk to them like they are adults. Because the more you give, the more you will see.
I really don't, because she
smart and bright.
I tell my mother, like, my mother's like, well, she knows she only but certain. I said, but this, I said, she knows what I'm talking about.
Correct. That's how you build her comprehension. That's how you build her IQ. That's how you build her vocabulary. I have 3, and I get compliments. My 2 oldest are autistic. They're high-functioning autistic with mental health, and my youngest one has nothing, right? But for the 2 oldest, every time I've had them evaluated, whether it be for speech, whether it be for whatever, I've always gotten compliments. OMG, like, you've done so well with their vocabulary. Like, what have you done? Nothing but talk to them like they're adults. I don't do that baby talk, that little kid talk. We talk like we're grown-ups. If it's a word that I know they may not understand, I will tell them the definition of it, and I will show them how to use it. Are you my God, are you serious? Yeah, because I've had their speech evaluated before, because I thought that they were having problems. That's when I was told that I was trying to give them words to articulate that their mouth motor skills were not able to articulate at that age. I had to wait until their mouth motor skills had the ability to do so. So until then, the words weren't going to sound right. What was I doing? Still having them articulate those words until they sounded right. Because I was not going to stop them from growing their vocabulary. And that's why their comprehension is so strong now, and their reading skill is so strong now, just because of that one piece.
Wow.
Yeah, like, keep talking to her the way you do. Do not diminish. Like, I'm telling you, she's very smart. Like you said, she understands. Give her a routine. Let her know, okay, this is what we're about to do. We're going to get ready for bed. You get to pick your pajamas. Do you want to help mommy do this? Do you want to help? Give her the task of helping you do everything. It's going to wear her out. The fact that you're giving her the option to think, you're going to start wearing her out. She's going to start getting tired, because she's got to think about which pajama. She's got to think about what y'all going to do next. What other tasks are you going to give her? The water, the soap, the towel, the diaper, everything. Have her, okay, what do you need? Even if you have her get it. Go get your diaper. Go get this. Where is this at? Where is that at? Okay, we have to get this and we have to get that. Have her physically do everything. You're going to start wearing her out. And then she's going to start, her mind is going to start getting ready with, okay, so it's going to be time for bedtime. So I'm getting this for bedtime. And keep mentioning it. Keep mentioning it. Okay, we're getting ready for bedtime. All right, don't forget to go get that, because you need that for bedtime. She's going to slowly start getting into it, but you're going to wear her out. Because now she has to think. Now she doesn't have time to plan on how she's going to stress you out but not going to bed. Now she doesn't have time to figure out on what else she's going to use as an excuse to stay awake. She can't. She has a job now. Now she has to get that job done. You get it?
Yes, I get it. I get it.
And you're going to wear her out. It's the teacher in me.
Oh, yeah, I'm listening to you. I hear this. I'm like, wait a minute. I hear it intended. No, I definitely hear it in you.
Yeah, yo, the teacher in me always comes out no matter where we go. I always be like, people be looking at me, it's the teacher in me, I'm sorry. I mean, it's the teacher in me. She always goes, wherever I go, she always there. Especially when people be, toddlers and preschoolers, I did them for over 5 years. So I potty trained so many kids, it's not even funny. Like, and I've worked with so many defiant kids. I've worked with kids with needs. I've worked with so many different styles of kids that, like, I have so much knowledge in my brain. It's crazy. I was thinking about doing a mini course on how to deal with certain things to help parents out.
Ted, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this real quick. Like I said, the coaching program that I've been in, it's amazing. This man teaches you how to do everything. When I say teach you how to do everything.
I think you went out though. I can't hear you right now. Oh no. Are you still there? Well, it says you are, but I can't hear you. I still am unable to hear you. Oh no. There we go. I think I got your audio back. Nope. You went back out. There we go. Wait, nope. You muted yourself.
Hello?
Now I got you. There you go. I don't know what happened. I couldn't hear you. You were talking and then it went. Hey, I don't know what happened.
I don't either.
That was strange. It just like the audio just went out.
No, I was saying, did you hear what I hear the lecture? I was saying to the guy that I had that I was in for the coaching program. I said he teaches all of that too.
Oh, that's good. I took a course.
He has one called how to start a mini course.
Yeah, I said I was gonna do. I needed to start a mini course for a fact. I did take a free seminar for that, and she did teach us how to do that. I'm supposed to be in the middle of taking this course now that says branding your, marketing your brand. And in there, she also teaches me how to do the mini course. I know how to do it. I just haven't had the chance to sit down and record the videos, because I want to do it as videos instead of just doing it as audio. I want to record it as videos because I want people to actually, see me, and I want to show it.
Well, do you still have notes and that the guys gave for the free training that they give? Remember you told me?
Yeah, I have their notes, so I gotta get into the programs that they have. It's just having my 3-year-old not run in and interrupt.
Right.
That's the only downside, because since we're at the motel room, we only technically have, it's like an efficiency, so it is separated into 2 rooms, but she runs in and out all the time because she wants to be in the middle of everything. I'd be like, girl, this does not pertain to you, this is mine. This is my job. Let me do my job. But she won't let me. She thinks it's YouTube because we have a YouTube channel. So whenever, oh, it left. I just think Skype is like, listen here, you guys have already been on here too long.